Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Owasso, Oklahoma. And I'm with one of the most influential and powerful drag racers out there in the pro mod community. We are so excited today. This man needs no introduction. This is Keith Haney. Keith, thank you so much, number one, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and visiting with me.
Listen to me. This is a sponsor-driven sport. I need to thank my sponsors up front, which is Braille Drag Racing. Heather, thank you so much. I need to also thank AED Competition Fuel Systems. Jay and the guys over in the shop, thank you. Super Ease Garage in Darien, Georgia. Bill, thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. And also the Watch Repair Station in Columbia, South Carolina. This watch is almost sold. So there are 3 more in the box. You know what they look like. So get off your duffs and get it going, okay? So you're running out of time. You're running out of time with the Watch Repair Station. All right, you don't want to go through me. Go right to them. Go to their webpage. Check them out. Mention Limo Guy, and I'm sure you're going to get a nice percentage off of your purchase. And I'm telling you, they got some great watches.
I might have to get one.
Keith, yeah. That's fantastic, man. And for guys like Keith in his world, you know, I'm wearing Stratton. Someday I'll be able to afford a Rolex. Oh, this guy wears Rolex all the time.
I don't wear watches, actually.
All right, well, listen, enough of that. All right, listen, thank you so much to your sponsors, and we're going to talk more about Keith's sponsors in a minute. But, ladies and gentlemen, you saw it. You saw it out, okay? This guy had a major announcement in the drag racing world, in the pro mod community. He now has, I think, the biggest pro mod race of all time, with over $300,000 up for grabs. So we just finished up. He was competing there, and I'm going to show a little footage right now. He was competing at World Series of Pro Mod, right? Yep. The biggest, richest. And now I think maybe someone's coming into their neighborhood, and I know he doesn't want to infringe upon relationships with Westbuck, Drag Illustrated. He wants to keep it all copacetic, and this is not a visit that, hey, we're going to try and stick a finger in someone's face, right? This is all about what he's doing for the community of drag racing, what he's doing for all of the drivers out there that are working so hard in the pro mod community. And he's one of them himself. So, Keith, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I've known you for so many years now. You are a great influential force in my life, and you have helped me to become who I am. This guy comes from humble beginnings, as a lot of us do, and we just continue to grind and fight and never give up, just like this guy. And he is some of the wind beneath my wings, and I'm sure a lot of you out there that are watching, he's probably the wind beneath your wings, building teams, executing. At one of his dealerships here in Oklahoma, a little north of Tulsa, Owasso, beautiful place. You know, this guy's been building and growing and building and growing, and now he's at the end of his career, maybe not. And maybe he's transitioning. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But it's time for me to zippy to lippy, and we got to talk to Keith. So, Keith, I know that you've come up with this massive, awesome, wonderful checklist that we're going to talk about. Number one, why don't we start talking about this event and who's going to cover it?
Well, first of all, you know, we raced the World Series of Pro Mod here just back in first part of March. Wonderful event. Absolutely love it. Westbuck, the team there, has really brought awareness to Pro Mod like no other. And with his invites and the way they do it, and I first got to say that I am humbled and grateful to be a part of that event and have been for the last 2 years, qualified, which is tough to do. Give kudos to 366.4 was the bump there, and I just love what the awareness that Wes, his team, his staff, and the racers all put on Pro Mod in general.
Now, Keith, hold on a second before we get too far. Buddy, it came down to the last, I believe, qualifying round for you to make that field. And then what does that mean to make that field for you, man?
It was awesome. I actually had to drive the heck out of the car. I would say something else, but, you know, when I was wheeling it and it was close to the wall and then was coming back, I was like, I knew the car was good, so I was like, I got to stick with it. And, you know, I just got in by thousands, not I mean, maybe 100th. It was exactly 100th. I went 365.7 and I think 366.4. So the difference between that. And there was a lot of great racers, another 40 guys that were below me that didn't get into the show, that were within thousands and hundreds of getting in it. So it was a very tough, great put together list of racers. And again, it was humble to be there. I lost first round, but lost to the kid Tanner. he good on the tree, and his tuner really tuned him up to outrun me. So, grateful to be a part of it. Really am. And again, for the awareness that Wes and the team over there has brought to Pro Mod in general.
Yeah, and that's it is a humbling experience for me too to walk the same grounds that you drive on. You wonderful competitive pro mod drivers, you guys are idols, man, and I get tingly when I walk the grounds. And enough on that. All right, so your event.
This event is not about me. It is not. I want to make that very clear. This event is about Scott Higgs, Blake Hawsley, and the staff at Flying H Drag Strip. We've been working on behind the scenes for about 8 months on this event. And we started last year, again, 8 months ago, of how we could do this and what does it take to do it and how do we give back to the racers. Scott comes from the horse world, I call it. And a lot of those team ropers and all the stuff that he sponsors and things like that. But a lot of those guys go to the event and they leave with something. And when I was talking to him, he goes, "Y'all got $1 million rigs and all this stuff and all this staff coming and all this or crew coming, and you all go home with very little, if anything, and sometimes nothing." And he said, "I just don't get that." Coming from the world that he's accustomed to, the team roping and things like that with the PBR, and he does all that stuff. So he came when we started talking. He said, "We got to figure out how to get back to these racers." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I've got ideas." And he goes, "How about this? I'm going to empower you to be able to put together the biggest drag race that's ever been put on. One is I just spent all this money on a brand new, from the ground up, folks. I'm talking from the ground up, flat ground, brand new drag strip in Odessa, Missouri, which is Flying H drag strip. If you've not seen it on Facebook and on their website with the live updates and everything, you are missing out. This is one of the most phenomenal drag strips that have ever been built. The water that drains, I'll just give you just a quick thing. The water, when it rains, the water actually drains in between the walls going down the side of the racetrack. So the attention to detail that they put within this place is second to none, and every racer is going to be fortunate enough to be able to race on a surface that is laser straight and a place that is going to be, I'm going to say it's going to be one of the top racetracks in the world. And I co-own one with Todd Martin right here in Tulsa, at Tulsa Raceway Park, which is one of the best, as well. But this is going to be a state-of-the-art place. And for him to empower me to help him put on the biggest pro mod race, that will put his racetrack on the map. Understand, nobody knows about this racetrack. And he had to do something with a bang in order to be able to get everybody to know that Flying H is going to be one of the best racetracks in the country.
Well, that's pretty impressive. And how did that happen? Were you guys sitting at a bar somewhere or having dinner out, together, or did you just pick up the phone and call each other? How did that all start, the conversation?
Actually, we were at a drag race.
That's great.
we were, and we sat down and we had a long conversation, and we went through things, and Blake and I went through things, and we just kept brainstorming, and I said, I got this idea. I'm going to put it all on paper. I'm going to send it to you. And not only did I send it to him, I put a spreadsheet together that shows profit and losses for the racetrack, and I even put a pro forma together that states this is what I think you'll make, and this is what I think could lose if it doesn't do this right here. And he said, heck with it, let's do it. And he's one of those guys that, let's just add to it. Let's just add to it. And I'm like, no. Let's walk before we run.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, thankfully for him, he's got a track owner that's helping him to start up his track, and all the nuances that you've learned over the years of owning a facility. Now you can pass those on to him, and that's an incredible asset that he has on his team, and he may realize it, he may not realize it, but that's awesome.
He definitely realizes it. He knows how much that I've helped him in a lot of different areas, even not even part of the Pro Mod race, but just different things about his racetrack, companies. I even sold a couple signs for him for his racetrack to help him, not just because I have a great relationship with my marketing partners that with the Midwest and with the racetrack, and they believe in me, and I deliver. I under promise and over deliver. That has always been my motto, and I don't do this for a living. This is all fun. I get paid nothing. At that race, I offered to take half the race. He said, heck no, I'm doing it by myself. I said, okay. But, you got to take risks in life, and giving to the marketing partners and them believing in us and being able to put on this race, because I owe a lot to the marketing partners and him to be able to even think about doing something like this.
Yeah, that's an extremely special thing. And you know what? He's obviously very smart. He's teaming up with one of the best in the drag racing world, Keith Haney. And, he's done it. He's delivered with Midwest Drag Racing Series. I mean, he's absolutely there. He's on the forefront. He's pushing it. And now he's got a real great group again around him that are pushing it to the next level again. And then, oh, by the way, to get the word out there, Flow. Talk about them.
Okay, Flow Motorsports. Just so everybody knows a little bit about Flow, Flow has partnered with us on this event and the Midwest Drag Racing Series event. And one thing I want everybody to know about this relationship with Flow is Mike and the staff there have been absolutely wonderful. Chris and McGee and Mike Levy and everybody, the staff has been wonderful at Flow. One of the things that's unique with this particular agreement with Flow is we actually produce 100% of the show. We own all the audio equipment, all the camera equipment. We own everything. We actually send them a feed that they air on Flow Sports, and which we want, or Flow Racing, we want people to subscribe, which helps our relationship with Flow and them to continue. We put together a 2-year deal with Flow, and I want everybody out there to know one thing. If there's an issue with any of the live streaming, and we've been fortunate enough at Midwest Drag Racing Series to be up 99.7% of the time, our stuff has been viewable. I mean, that's almost perfect, which is very rare, because there's been some hiccups, in some live streaming and stuff. But I want everybody to know that if there's an issue with anything to do with the live streaming, or something you don't like, or it goes down, or whatever may happen, know that it is 100% on Midwest Drag Racing Series and my staff. I appreciate Flow partnering with us in this race and the Midwest. And I want everybody out there to support them, because they're giving. What people don't realize is they're giving to us, which we're giving back in the payouts, giving back to the racers. And racers need to know that, and the fans need to know that. So that's how some of this happened. So thank you again, Flow, for, man, what it's awesome.
Yeah, and so the things that ping off of me are, as a content creator, it's really nice to get access to this event, and that's one of the things that we're trusted with. We're not going to try and step on the live feed production. We're not going to release stuff too early. We're going to let these guys, get the full thrust of what they're doing because they deserve it. And it's really a special time for guys like me, great streamers like JNC Pro Modder. We hope that Kyle Chris comes out here and supports all this stuff.
I know that NC Pro Modder, he is coming.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's going to be able to come out there and work with us. He'll be actually part of the staff, and it's awesome to have him at the event as well. And hope Kyle, and again, everybody has to submit the submissions to be able to. Media people have to get with. You can go to our website and then submit. Submission to be able to be there. So we can't just let everybody in, but the ones that we know that really love the sport and really, like yourself and NC and a lot of the other, we want them to be there, and you just can't have everybody.
Just can't have everybody in.
Everybody wants to come,
and everybody, and I, to tell you the guy, it's really humbling and honor. It's an honor and a blessing to hear those words out of your mouth, Keith. A great guy like you at your stature, man. It really warms my heart. You have to talk about the payouts though. That's really important because that's going to motivate girls and guys to get here to compete at your race.
So, the total payouts over $300,000. We will be announcing, which I'm going to announce it here, actually. We've had fortunate enough to have more sponsors come to us and say, we want to give more. We want to help this event. This is something bigger than it's ever been put on, ever. And it's not a competition for that, just so everybody knows that. It's just... This is something I've dreamed of for when we started Midwest Drag Racing Series in 2017. I started with 9 cars. And I always had a big dream of, I think Pro Mod deserves to be the forefront of like Top Fuel is. And I believe people want to see it. Do we have the characters? Yeah. Things like this, put it out there. I mean, everybody knows me by one thing. They don't know me by Keith Haney. Ain't nobody know me by Keith Haney. They know me by you know my name. And when they come up to me, I don't know your name. That's all a part of it. It's no different than No Prep King stuff. So talking a little bit about the payouts. What's exciting is 32 racers, 32 are going home with money. We're only accepting 35, maybe 40, outside Midwest Drag Racing Series, which, just so everybody knows, we're about full. You have all the World Series of Pro Mod champions are already entered. You have a lot of names that I can't announce right now because they don't want me to, that are coming, new, previous. You don't have to be invited. If you think you have enough in your tank to run with these guys, show up. Meet the rules of the Midwest Drag Racing Series and show up and show out.
No, wait a second. Wait. You're sending out letters, and then what? If somebody doesn't get a letter, they show up, they'll be able to get in? Is that what you're saying?
So I took the time out, and a lot of people don't realize it, but I wrote a letter to every single Pro Mod racer. Every Pro Mod racer. I have a database of every Pro Mod racer. And every Pro Mod racer that runs.
How many letters did you send?
290.
That's incredible.
290 racers got a letter personally from me inviting them to this race. It's not an invite. It's just an awareness of, you want to get in, you better get in quick. Just like now. I mean, the spots are almost full. You need to, if you've not entered, or if a Pro Mod racer's not entered, you better enter. The unique deal about this is with the Midwest Drag Racing Series and my great sponsors like Summit and J&A and Stroud Safety, and I'm going to forget people, Race Star Wheels, all these great people that just believe in Midwest Drag Racing Series. And my racers, I call them mine because I consider them family. The racers that run the Midwest Drag Racing Series, I want to give back to them. So if you run 4 of the first 6 events with Midwest Drag Racing Series, I being Midwest Drag Racing Series, is paying your entry. That's how you give back. And it's coming out of my personal back pocket, and I'm going to pay the entry only of the Pro Mod Racer if you run 4 of the 6 events, and show the sport. Where that goes with is like Scott and Blake and I talked, is it gives, take a look at the 4 of the first 6. Who's winning? The racetracks are winning. The fans are winning. The racers are winning. So we're giving back in a different way. So I want to personally thank all my Midwest Drag Racing Series racers, because without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are today. So back to, I could go on and on about my guys. Let's talk about the payout. And I know that's the biggest thing everybody wants to hear. So M&M Transmissions and Proline, along with Zimmerman Properties, Pilot Racing. I got to tell you a story about this guy here. Fuel Tech. It's $150,000. So the main event, we're calling this the main event and the undercard. The main event pays you $150,000 to the winner, $25,000 to the runner-up, $5,000 for the semis, $2,500 in quarters, and now sponsored by Pilot Racing. Savage guys. I mean, I don't know if you know anything, but they put a dang balloon in the back of my car when I was at Yellow Bullet. It was the funniest thing in the world. So we got a little smack talk going between he and I. But that whole crew over there. But Pilot Racing just added, which was $1,000 for the 16s. And this is on the main event, guys. Remember, the main event, another $1,000. So it's $2,000 to the 16s. So you're getting almost all your money back just by if you qualify and win first round. Fuel Tech, $10,000 has just is being announced right now. It was $5,000. It's now $10,000 for the number 1 qualifier. So now that top purse is $221,000 just for the main event. Here's the best part. So if you don't qualify, or you lose first round. So you qualify for the main event, and you don't qualify for the main event, right? You lose first round. You go down in what we call the undercard event. And everybody says undercard, they're thinking like a small deal or something, right? It ain't small. It's $25,000 to the winner, $10,000 to the runner-up, $2,500 to the semis, and $1,250 for the quarters, which makes that purse $45,000. So if you don't qualify, lose first round, you're still running for some badass money. And that's $25,000, $10,000, $25,000, and $1,250, paying all the way back to the quarters. So 32 cars, by looking at the main event and the undercard event, 32 cars are going home with money. The total now payout for this particular race is $266,000 just for Pro Mod. Now, where can you go race for that anywhere in the world? I ask you that. I challenge you to show up and show out. If you think you can come outrun me, I mean, come on, show me what you got. Because there's a lot of great talent in this world. I'm not just one of them. There's a ton of them, from Mark Mickey to Todd Tutterow to Kurt Steddings to I can name them all. Spencer Massey, not Spencer Massey, but I mean
Spencer Hyde.
Spencer Hyde. All these guys. Melanie Salimi. I mean, I could. Ron Munich. I could name them all. Jim Hosley, Mike Achenbach. I probably should shut up with just some of the people that are coming. But anyway, it's going to be one tricked out event. So go to the next deal. The funny cars, it's $10,000 to win, $3,000 to runner-up, $1,500 the semi, $750 to the first round loser, $500 for the number 1 qualifier. That total payout's $20,000. Same thing. Run 4 or 6 with the funny cars, which we want to thank Jim and Annie Whiteley and Jane A. Service, because this is their class. It ain't my class. This is theirs. And they believe in funny car, and so do I. So thank them for putting this one on. Then we want to talk about our Top Sportsman and Top Dragster. Top Sportsman and Top Dragster, the same thing. You have a main event and an undercard event. It is a 16-car field, but 32 cars are going home with money in Top Dragster and Top Sportsman. So you have the main event in Top Sportsman, the main event in Top Dragster pays $5,000, 2 separate classes, $5,000 to the winner, $2,000 to runner-up, $1,000 for semis, $500 for quarters, and $1,000 for the number 1 qualifier. Again, 2 separate classes, $11,000 each in each one of them. Here's the great part about this one. If you don't qualify or lose first round, you go into the undercard event, which Top Dragster and Top Sportsman come together into one class. And they race for $2,500, $1,000, $500, and $250. $5,500 for that. Total purse for them is $27,500. It's just same entry fee of $250 as a normal. They don't have to do anything special. That's sponsored by, all our great companies, Icon Pistons, our bearing company. I'm losing track of them, but
take your time. Take your time.
B&J and them guys over there. Then we have our junior class. Our junior class is also wonderful too. It is, which will be one of the biggest payouts in junior racing. $2,000 the winner, $1,000 a runner-up, $250 the semis, $100 to the quarters. Total purse and pro and sportsman is $3,900. Again, they get to go into undercard event. Again, the undercard events cost you nothing. There's no entry fee for them for any one of the classes. It's all part of the deal. They'll both come together and they'll run for $500, $100, $75, and $50, which a total of $950 in that class. Total payout for juniors is $87.50. Last class, we have Pro 420. A lot of people don't want to call it my junior pro mod class. But they have it. $3,000 the winner, $1,000, $500, and $100. Total payout of $5,900. Guaranteed payouts on that class as well, which has got a lot of great sponsors. I believe that race is going to be Champion Auto Lifts sponsors that one. So that's going to be a great one. Then we also have something exciting is the Bone Shaker. Bone Shaker's coming to the event for the kids and the fans that are coming to the race. You got to give them something else too to enjoy. Plus, we'll have a lot of local classes. So I try not to do all the details. I did most of them, but I wanted everybody to know that the undercard event, 32 cars are going home, and every class, it's just almost every class.
That's unbelievable, Keith. It really is, and it really. Man, if you don't understand or feel the passion this guy has for this and putting this event together and also making it some of the highest payouts, I mean, really, you need to get checked. But also, there's one thing that you spoke about earlier that really piqued my interest because it's really a very important part of the deal, right? People love it, right? You know it. So who's coming on board? Any other exclusives you have for us?
Yeah, I do.
As far as sponsors?
We haven't announced it yet, which we're announcing it here. And I'll announce it. Soon we'll put out the flyer for it. Strange Engineering. Jeff and the staff over there always want to give back to the racers. They've always been great. They've been a supporter since I started the series. They are doing the hospitality night. It is sponsored by Strange Engineering. And this is not your typical hospitality night. Hospitality night is going to be fun. You got a live music. You have food. Let me tell you about the food. The food is going to be catered in. It's not cheap, but we want to make sure that everybody's fed and their bellies are full, and they get to know each other outside of just working on the cars and challenging each other and competing against each other. We'll have a full buffet. We're going to have some barbecue, enough to fill you up, and it'll be. Right now we're working on getting those details done with Jack Stack's Barbecue. It's a national. The best in Kansas City. We're talking with them right now to be able to come in and cater in and serve. We're guesstimating somewhere close to 1,500 people, racers and crew. It's Strange Engineering. I can't thank you enough. And we've got another sponsor that's coming on board. I'll announce them later when that's finalized. But the hospitality night is going to be one to remember.
Yeah, Strange, thank you so much for all of your support. It is definitely noticed and definitely appreciated on so many different levels, even down to the media folks like me. Hey, listen, Keith, we're running out of time here. Looks like we've been at 30 minutes chit-chatting. I don't want to lose too many people, and there's a lot of information to get to you, and it probably isn't appropriate to do it here, but they can go to the webpage. So there's a stub wire, I believe, with a QR code.
So if you go to Midwest Drag Racing Series, right at the top, there's a tab that says SmackDown. When you click on that, you can find all the details from the flyers, everything that's going on for the event. You can find that on that website. There's also a link there to register. Everybody has to register. Top dragster, top sportsman, juniors, Pro 420, funny car, pro mods. There's a link there. Also QR code on a lot of our stuff that you can go to straight to the page and register. You need to get that done ASAP. Again, this race ain't until September 19th through the 21st. But you need to get registered as soon as you can because the spots are filling up. We're only taking so much in each class because we can't have too many and not get an event in. We start on Thursday and we'll go home on Saturday. We don't run on Sunday. So it's something we put together at the beginning of the year with this whole thing is to make sure that we are home on Sunday with our family.
Awesome deal, man. And Keith, is there anything else you want to say about this event, your sponsors? Let it out.
I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank Scott Higgs and them for believing in me. I want to thank all the Pro Mod racers for believing in me as well, and coming and supporting juniors, funny car, Pro 420. I want to thank all the racers, family, staff, women behind the scenes that do anything. Like my wife, she does so much for me behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know. I want to thank all the crew members because all the crew members that make it happen. They're the one that gets the steam going, and digs in when there's a problem. And sponsors. Summit, I can't name all of them. It'd take me all day, but thank you for believing in Midwest Drag Racing Series. Thank you for believing in Flying H. Thank you for believing in racing in general. Drag racing needs us. Drag racing needs everything from Pro Stars to World Series of Pro Mod, Snowbirds, World Street Nationals, all of them. We have a lot invested. And we enjoy racing because we're no different than football players. It's competitive, and I want to win every time. I'm a nitrous guy. I'm still the guy that's still on the bottom of the deal, but I did win a championship last year against all combos, so I had to put that in there.
Yeah, I was going to put that in there too. And as you can see, Keith is a good man, and on a Good Friday, he took some time away from his family to come back to the dealership and hang out with me, which is such an honor and an amazing blessing. And so, Keith, I'm going to close it and say, hey, everything you've done for me over the years, it is so much appreciated. Everything that you've done for the community of drag racers, you as a Pro Mod driver, you that have done so darn much for your community here in Tulsa. I look up to you like I look up to the Mayo brothers that came and built a lot of this city, all of the oil titans that came and went in this city. I'm now sitting with a titan in the industry, in his industry that he makes, and he keeps continuing to push. And so,
Let me. Last interview you and I had, we were sitting in a trailer. I just started Pro Mod racing, and I remember one man, and I want everybody to remember him too. Brian Olson, I miss you, buddy. The last time you and I had an interview, Brian Olson was sitting right next to you, and this is a special moment. And I can't forget that man.
Yeah, and the last time I spoke to Brian Olson was in Peru, Indiana, and we had some really private words. And I'm certainly blessed by the advice that he gave to me, the mentorship that Brian gave to me. He took the time to invest in me and help me to become the guy that's now sitting next to one of the most amazing guys right here, Keith. I'm sorry to, this ain't no love fest or anything. It's just the truth about this guy. And he is very much appreciated. Brian is very much appreciated. And we all miss him dearly. And I'm so thankful, Brian, that you helped me to become the man that I am today here in front of the camera. So
while we're announcing, I would like to say how much I miss Ronnie Hobbs. He passed away at one of our races. So again, two guys that I talked to on a regular basis. They would call me 2 or 3 times a week, and Brian would call you about 1 o'clock in the morning. You're in bed. but Landon Hobbs and that family over there, I love them, and I don't want to make this a sob deal, but I love my racers, and I love my announcers, and I love my staff, and I'm very grateful and humbled to be a part of the drag racing world.
I really love my media crew, the whole crew, and nothing but the crew, from Jimmy Biggs to Kyle Christ, to Racing Outlaws, to JNC Pro Modder, to all of the people at Flow that I interact with when I'm on the grounds. Courtney Enders. I mean, these people are all top notch, and I'm so honored and blessed to be in their world. I know I say it a lot, I pinch myself a lot, and again today I'm pinching myself on a Good Friday. Keith, I want to wish you.
Let's make some history.
Let's make some history, and I want you to have a happy Easter with your family. Keith, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you very much. See you guys.
Thanks, everyone.